Welcome to On Base presented by Geico. Get more baseball, get more with Geico. I am your host, Mookie Betts, and today we have a three-time All-Star, two-time World Series champion, and one of the best catchers in the game, and my teammate, Will Smith. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Thanks for having me here, man.
Thanks for coming on. I know you don't do stuff like this, so hopefully we can kind of get you out of your shell a little bit and get you to talk, get the fans to kind of know who you are. First, we start with a game called on base, off base. It's kind of whether you're in or you're out.
Mm-hmm.
First thing is the four major U.S. cities are New York,
Mm-hmm.
L.A., Chicago, and D.C. Are you in or out on that?
Yeah.
Most people, it's usually New York, L.A., and Chicago.
Yeah. DC is the fourth, I guess.
The fourth is like, do you think, are you in or out on that? I mean,
yeah, I mean, definitely the three. I mean, fourth's the nation's capital, I guess, DC. So, yeah, I'm in on that.
So. I mean, you not Atlanta.
No, not Atlanta. I was thinking maybe Miami might be there.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm going to go with DC just because I think I'm in on this. So you're in on this one.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
I don't even know what another – I think Miami would be the only other.
Yeah, Miami was the first one that came to mind that you didn't name. So, I don't know.
All right, what about this? The ABS challenge system. It's going to be good for the game.
I mean, I have so many mixed feelings about it.
All right, let's hear them.
As a big leaguer, as a player, like, you want every call correct, right? You don't want to get screwed on the umpire missing a call, right? Both sides. I'm the catcher, so pitching, I don't want him to miss calls, and hitting, I don't want to, get a strike call and miss 3 inches outside. But I think I've always liked that about baseball, where it's you can get a bad call and you just have to deal with it. I mean, right? That's kind of, it's always referred to as a game of life, and just dealing with the bad call and going on. Like, knowing the umpire can make a mistake. I like that. I like that about it.
You like the human element of it.
I like the human element, right? You can also get a good break, right? You can miss a strike call and now you're 2-1 instead of 1-2. But yeah, I don't know. I also think, like, it's probably great in the big leagues, but kids watch our game, right? And literally all of a sudden they're thrown to a box and they don't have ABS, and they don't see us dealing with a bad call or a good call or whatever. So, I more worry about how it's going to affect the game as a whole, as opposed to just, we're competing in 162 in the postseason and all that. But yeah, I don't know.
So you're in between. I feel like, for me, I think the challenge system may be okay, just because it's not every pitch. So, like, in the second inning, that, like you said, you may be down 1-2 instead of 2-1. But in the ninth inning, when things really kind of it gets down to crunch time, I think that's when a lot of challenges and a lot of things will happen. And I think that's where the game really changes a lot. I mean, I remember a couple times I've gotten punched out in the 8th or 9th inning on a ball that's 3 inches off the plate, but I've also not, like you said, not struck out on a pitch that caught the corner. So I think late in the game it'll be all right, but I just wonder how it's going to affect the umpires, because the umpires are not going to,
Yeah, they're already, I call it domed up a little bit about it all. They're second guessing themselves enough, and maybe the challenge system helps. It might help them, might make them relax a little bit and help them. I don't know, or it might make it worse. But I think just from all the discussions I have, 90% of them want to get the call correct, and it's hard. But then they start thinking about it, or emotions get in with challenges. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I do think that I'm curious to see how the teams challenge. Are the young guys going to be able to challenge? Like, if Alex Freeland goes up there and challenges, and
he better be right.
He better be right, But if Shohei goes up there and challenges, I think everybody's going to be like, I mean, kind of whatever. So we'll see how teams kind of
what the strategy is behind it all, and
if it's gonna be more challenges on the hitting side or on the pitching side. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay, so Next thing, you're always down to make small talk with the batter.
99% of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
So you talk to the guys.
Yeah, like a little bit. I just kind of go with them. You know, I'll say hi or whatever, and if they want to talk, I'll talk. But if they don't, yeah.
So what do y'all talk about? Like what would it be a conversation?
Oh man.
I mean, you
just
got
more
like 5
before
seconds.
they get in the box, right?
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not talking to them while they're trying to hit,
Right,
and I'm
right.
trying to decide what pitch to call and all that. But it's just hey, how you been? How's your family? Stuff like that.
Oh,
just
okay.
normal,
Okay, so it's just
normal little small
quick
talk
in and
stuff.
out.
Yeah, quick in and out.
And so, do you do that? Like, what if one of your homeboys comes up?
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking to him every time
yeah,
he comes
sometimes,
up?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you ever tell them like, good swing last at bat, or
yeah. Yeah, I'll tell
Okay.
them that, good swing, whatever. Yeah, for sure.
And this is for everybody or just the people you kind of know?
That's probably one of the people I know, and have a better relationship with just from playing with them, playing against them more often, whatever.
And have you ever like became friends just from those quick little interactions?
No, probably not.
No. Okay.
No, I mean, I've come across guys in random public and talk to them, or say hi or whatever. But yeah, it makes it a little easier maybe to have that conversation, just small talk. But whatever.
So who talks the most to you? Like, what I'm saying, out of everybody
like
that's
which
come
guys?
up, which guy, like anybody talk the most to you?
Just depends, man. Just depends. I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
So nobody comes in like stone cold, doesn't really.
No, some guys do for sure.
Really?
Yeah, some guys will come in, maybe say hi, and then they're locked in, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Buster Posey recently just said you're all business behind the plate, and you're not really trying to be anybody's friend. But and I don't think he means that in a necessarily a negative way, but you're definitely are a lot of business.
Yeah, I'm definitely all business, but I'll say hi, and then when it's time to like lock in after a couple seconds, yeah, I'm locked in.
And Posey also said he sees a lot of similarities between you and him.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean anything to you? Like, is that?
I mean, I grew up watching him, right? Mm-hmm. He's arguably one of the best catchers ever, top 5 for sure. 3 World Series champion. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a compliment.
Mm-hmm. And you got to play against him too. So was that ever? Did you? Yeah,
that's cool.
Guys ever?
I talked to him a little bit. More in the box and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he was always nice to me. I was always encouraging and stuff, but he was trying to beat us as well.
For sure.
So he said some funny stuff to me in the past, but probably not keeping that on air. So.
All right. So last one. Our rivalry with the Dodgers and Padres has overtaken the Yankees-Red Sox as the biggest rival in the game. Are you on base or off base with them?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of off base on that. I think, we've had 5 years now of some really good baseball games, really good series, postseason matchups and stuff. But, the Red Sox Yankees is 100 years old.
Yeah.
Like that's the rivalry in baseball, just from a historical standpoint. I'm not taking away from our, bouts with them, but I just think, time and longevity mean something a little bit more than where we're at with them. But yeah, no, it's fun though.
I agree with that. I think playing with the Red Sox, going into that rivalry it's not just about baseball. I feel like here is mostly just about baseball, like who has the best team. And it's beautiful thing, right? I definitely enjoy coming to the Petco and hearing all hearing all the fans and whatnot, super loud, and it's a great atmosphere to play baseball. But with the Yankees and Red Sox, it's like baseball, but it's like about the cities. It's like whose city is better. Who can get louder and all this other stuff. So I think to your point, it runs much deeper and so long with the history and whatnot. So I'll be off base with that. But you grew up a Red Sox fan.
I did, yeah. I've got some family up in the Boston area.
Okay.
Grandma lives on the Cape and stuff. Okay. So, yeah, when I was,
So who did you watch growing up? Like, who was your favorite player growing up?
I mean, that was like Veritek, Euclid,
okay,
Big Papi Manny.
Okay.
It's all those guys. So, yeah. I mean, obviously 2004, I was 9 years old when they made that run and stuff. Came back against the Yankees.
Doc.
Yeah, Doc.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I didn't even realize that was him till like,
Yeah,
when I called up, I'm like, oh, okay, that was you.
yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, no, I was hooked. So I became a fan from them, like right from then.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right, so let's get a little more into the Dodgers Padres. This little situation going on right here. We're tied. And all year we were in first, playing and whatnot, and then we had a little rut.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're tied. I really kind of appreciate this because it forces us to play the whole season. I remember, I want to say my first couple of years, we won the division with like a couple weeks left in the season, and we ended up getting put out a couple of times early. But now with this rivalry here, and not with the rivalry, but with them tied with us, I feel like it's going to help us in the long run. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I can agree. I look back to 21, us versus the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
They won 106 and won 105, and it was down to the last day. But we were locking in for that wild card game. Great series and 5 games versus the Giants and beat them. But we can never take the foot off the gas. It was go time. The whole month of August, whole month of September. So yeah, obviously we came up short in 21. But I don't think that was a mentality thing. I think that was, the Braves just beat us.
Yeah, they just beat us.
Yeah,
there's nothing we can do about that.
So yeah, I think it'd be good for us. So,
and they added these guys in the bullpen and O'Hearn, and I mean they're good, man.
Yeah,
they're really good. They're really a ball club, but we are too. So I think it's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be cool. I do want to go. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. I want to talk about you a little bit. When you were a kid, you grew up in Kentucky, right? What other sports did you play?
Yeah, so I grew up playing golf and baseball.
Okay.
Played basketball through my freshman year of high school.
Well, basketball. So were you good?
I could shoot.
You could shoot.
I could shoot. Play good defense.
Okay.
Basketball wasn't gonna be my thing, but I went to a small private school, so I could play through middle school and all that.
So you played golf though.
Mm-hmm.
And are you a scratch golfer?
I'm close to it.
Close to scratch.
To it, yeah.
So if you go out, like, what's your handicap? You have an index?
Yeah, like right now it's a 1.5, I think.
So that's isn't that a scratch?
I mean, a 0 scratch. So.
Oh, 0 scratch.
Yeah, 0 scratch.
Okay. So, and how often do you get to play on the road?
It just depends.
When you're catching, I mean, I'm assuming you're tired, so you don't really want to.
Yeah, I try not to. I'll play on days I catch. Usually if it's like a pretty good course, I don't want to pass up. But yeah, I think once a road trip.
Okay, that's usually
maybe
what it is.
every other road trip I'll play twice or something. It just depends. Just depends who can play, who can get out, and then where we're going.
So you get into school, and you're playing. Did you play golf for the school?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so you played golf and baseball for the school, and then when did you stop playing golf?
Once I got to college.
Okay, so you didn't want to play golf, and could you play golf in college?
I never got recruited to. I was probably good enough to like put in the work and get better and do all that, but I'm a lot better than I was now.
Do you think you could have did both? Like timing wise?
I don't think timing wise.
Oh, okay.
I went to U of L. Seeing the golfers and baseball schedule and knowing some of the golfers, like, yeah, that would have been impossible to do unless you just show up, play 18, and then go right back to baseball practice. Like, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, so you went to U of L, played, and who else did you play with at U of L? Because I know I was talking to Rushing, and there's a lot of guys that really went to U of L that are in the big leagues now. And I didn't even realize like U of L was just kind of pumping people into the league like that.
Yeah, we had a really good stretch of guys. A lot of guys were kind of the up and down guys, but there's a ton of them. My draft class was 16. We had we had 4 guys taken the first day, 3 the first round. Like 6 or 7 more in the top 10. So like 8 or 9 guys in top 10 rounds. It was, we were a pretty good team.
Did you guys make it to the College World Series?
We did my freshman year. Sophomore and junior year, we lost in the Super Regionals.
Okay. And how was that experience?
great. I loved it. I love college. Some of my best friends are from there. I still keep in touch with them, but yeah, it was just, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Just, it was a lot of work, obviously. Dealing with school, dealing with baseball, work, or waking up, 6
You didn't
a.m.
pay
to work
anybody to
out.
do your homework, bro?
No,
Oh
no.
my gosh.
I should
I'm
have.
glad I didn't go to college because
Yeah.
I'm dishing it out. I'm forking it out. I'm not trying to write any papers.
No, we were. Yeah, that wasn't happening.
Okay, so then you get drafted by the Dodgers, and then how was your minor league experience?
It was fine. The Dodgers. I felt very fortunate with the Dodgers. Some of my teammates from college were with different organizations, and it seemed like we had it pretty good. Eating well. The coaching seemed better than most. They were invested. They're invested in me individually. Came up with a good plan. There was good communication, stuff like that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. We had some good teams in the minors. It was fun. It's the Dodgers, man. It's about winning.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything is geared towards winning and, becoming a big leaguer and what you need to do as an individual, what you need to do as a teammate. It was just all encompassing, and it was, I think a lot of that is, reflected in who I am today as a baseball player, just from being shown the ropes, and it's pretty cool.
And then you debuted in 19. I remember watching your first hit. And you go through XYZ. I remember because we were on the other side, and I think we had finished the game or whatever, and then the highlights and stuff go on. And I thought it was you hearing your name. I'm like, because obviously the actor Will Smith. So I was like, oh, who is this guy? Whatever. And so then, like I said, you go through, finish 19, and then 2020 comes,
Mm-hmm.
which is like essentially I guess it would be your
half
plus,
a year, 19 years.
I mean, year plus whatever. And so, that was my first year here, and we didn't really talk much, and I was new and whatnot, but what I did hear was like you were kind of going through some, not learning how to catch, but like just learning the game of how it was supposed to be played and whatnot.
Yep.
So can you take me kind of through that, because I know that was something that was kind of talked about, is like you had to learn how to call and learn, more about receiving and all this type of things.
Yeah, I think, just like any young player, they got stuff to learn, they got stuff to work on and get better. I think, going from the minor leagues to the big leagues is a whole different game, especially when you're trying to call a game, you're trying to, know your pitcher's strengths, know the hitters, like it's a lot. And I think I might have been a little stubborn in some of my ways, looking back, and what I thought was right. And, I was open to, I've always been the person that's open to learning and listening and stuff like that. But, yeah, I don't know if it's stress or whatever, but you get in those stressful situations and, you kind of rely on, what you've always done. So I think getting out of my comfort shell and trying new ideas and, listening to pitching coaches and stuff like that, and really understanding, what pitcher I have on the mound and who the hitter is. It takes years. It takes years of experience to really understand that. So yeah, I think, I don't know. It was, I had Russell Martin there.
Yeah. You had some guys to learn from.
Yeah, I had some guys, but it was
it's
tough.
hard. I mean, like just like you said, being a young guy, there's no experience is really the only teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
People can tell you what to do to they're blue in the face, but until you really experience that your way isn't the best way, or maybe your way is the best way, whatever it is, that's the only way that's really going to force change.
Yeah, exactly.
So then 2020, we end up winning, but you didn't catch the last out. You were
I was DHing
at that time. Barnesy was catching at that time, and so then going into the next couple of years, you started catching. Your role really expanded. And what do you think was the reason, not for you personally, what do you think was the reason that your role started to expand? Like, what do you think you got better at?
Everything. Obviously. I've always hit pretty well in the big league, so understanding more situations, maybe that side of the ball. But I think just catching, having better relationship with pitchers, gaining their trust, gaining the staff's trust as well on the plate, especially in bigger games, and making the right decisions, making the right calls, having all the right discussions before the game or after the game. I'm just talking through things and really, showing I'm understanding what's going on, what needs to be done in this situation versus this situation. And more just managing the game as opposed to one hitter at a time kind of a mentality.
Well, and something you just said kind of plays into now, like you have so many pitchers essentially to manage, right?
Yep.
And then we're adding guys at the deadline. We're bringing up guys.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage that? Like, like, because you can't, just because it says, this guy doesn't hit fastballs away or sliders. Well, how do you know that this guy's going to execute? How do you make this guy comfortable to execute? Like, what are these things? How do you do that?
Yeah, I think, one is trying to make the pitcher comfortable with me and trust me.
And does that play a part in like just walking around the clubhouse?
Yeah, when they show up, talking to them a little bit. I think now I'm at the point where a guy walks in, they trust you just because I'm a more veteran guy. Like, they see that, and you're not trying to prove yourself as much to them, but you still got to make them comfortable, right?
Right.
You still got to converse with them and all that. But I think, when it comes to game calling, I've talked about some of this with, the other catchers, the minor league catchers and stuff like that. Like, there's so many different buckets. There's the scouting report, right? There's the pitcher strength. There's the game situation. There's all these different things you got to take into account and just weighing which one's more important at the time.
So none of those are the most important. It's just relative to what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's the game situation. It's looking at the game situation. Where are we at? What's the score? What's the scoreboard saying? It's knowing, what the pitcher can control, right? What can throw for a strike? What can chase? How's it coming out that day? Because one day is different than the next. It's knowing, what the hitter does, what they're thinking, we did last at bat to them. It's just all these different little things that you got to kind of process, put a little bit of weight into all of it, and come up with the best decision you can.
And all this is in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. So you find a little process.
Yeah. Okay.
You just make a decision and go with it. And
and if they shake, whatever, kind of is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, lately they've shaken a couple times, and that's where I'm not prepared for, right? Is they shake and you're like, oh, what do they want? Like, I've already made up my decision what I think is best. So then you're like trying, 15-second pitch clock, and, I call a changeup, right? Or a slider, and they're thinking something else. And then you both call the wrong pitch because, like, you know what I mean? Like the worst pitch, because you're not thinking he's like, oh, well, okay, that was the second. Okay, it's coming to bite us in the butt a little bit lately, but yeah, but at the end of the day, like, you execute a pitch, like the hitter's usually out.
Yeah.
So it's just about execution.
So like, and earlier you mentioned like you kind of always hit in the big leagues. It's something that's just really natural for you hitting. Obviously we know this year you Super Bowling, right? This is arguably the best year of your career so far. What do you? I'm not gonna say attribute that to, but like, do you feel like it's just more of a comfort thing now that you really feel comfortable? It looks like you're really comfortable catching, and like it seems like you kind of know the league better just off your own, not have nothing to do with the paper, right? And so, do you think that kind of has, helped you?
Maybe a little bit. It's definitely not natural. Right. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of, preparation, all that. It's still hard, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I have a really good understanding of my swing and mechanics and stuff like that, and have a really good relationship, Robert Bass and JT, and, what they see. We just have good conversations every day about, what they see, just kind of limiting getting off track too much, basically. It's just, get a really good routine going on, really good base, basically. Base starting point, I guess. And I think this year just haven't been hurt. Last couple of years, dealing with injuries, kind of throws the body out of whack and that stuff. So yeah, I think it's just it's been a good year, trying to keep it rolling, trying to get back going again. So yeah.
I was talking to Cal Raleigh on here,
Mm-hmm.
and you see the season he's having. How, hitting all his home runs and doing what he's doing as a catcher, like, that's got to be like really, really tough to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you hit, what is that, 48 homers
Yeah,
now, that's
he's
tough to do.
Yeah, he's
How
almost.
many guys have done that? But yeah, how many catchers have done that? I don't know. Yeah, it's impressive. It's fun to watch. It seems like every day he's hitting 2 homers.
Yeah, I know, on both sides
Yeah.
too. And it's neat for me to see because sometimes you're going from a pitcher's meeting straight to our meeting.
Yep.
You don't really have any time to kind of chill for yourself because then you got to hit at a certain time and then you got to go get dressed and then you're out.
Yep.
You're out there early, so you really don't get any chill time, and you have to think on both sides of the ball. And for you to be balling the way you're doing is really neat. I mean, and how do you manage your time?
I think it just comes to my routine. I have X, Y, and Z I got to do. So, when I'm hitting the cage, I do my routine. Like, it's 100% focus on that. I'm not thinking about, what Snell is going to throw later in the game, right? It's what do I need to do to get my swing right? It's the preparation on both sides, watching video, looking at the scouting reports and all that, and understanding them, and just thinking through that. When I'm looking at the pitcher side of the ball, it's what do we need to do with the starter now, right? Thinking through all that, but then it's just different. It's compartmentalizing, I would say. It's going to, I don't know. I've always been able to do it pretty well, I think. Not letting my ABs affect the catching and not letting the catching affect the ABs. It's kind of just two different games, two totally different mindsets, and I can just flip through both. And
I wonder if golf plays a part in that because you play golf growing up, and like if you hit a bad drive or a good drive, it's almost like you have to focus on this next shot no matter what, and I wonder if catching is kind of like that, when you're going to hit, you have to really just focus on this, and when you're going to catch, you really have to just, you're able to switch focuses.
It's one pitch at a time for sure. Yeah, maybe, because golf, different clubs and stuff. I don't know. Could be.
So I know, obviously you've been super clutch this year for us. A lot of big hits, another walk-off homer. Doc called you kind of like the Freddie 2.0.
Whatever that.
I know, right? How do you see yourself or like your role on this team? Because everybody talks about Shohei, myself, Freddie, whatever, X, Y, and Z. But like, you're right there in the middle, and arguably the most important guy in there. So how do you see yourself, or how would you define your role on the Dodgers?
Yeah, I mean, I think the catching is more important than the hitting. You just gotta be a rock back there for those guys. Gotta be locked in every single pitch,
especially with this staff.
Yeah, with this staff for sure. I mean, we got a lot of really talented arms, but you just gotta be back there for them every single pitch, every single day, whatever they need. Then the hitting, it's right there in the middle of the top. Like, for me, it's more no one's on, get on base, and then when guys are on base, try and drive them in. And
so you don't put a whole lot of pressure on yourself from the offensive side. It's
no, I still do.
Okay.
I still have, really high expectations of myself and what I'm trying to do, and, just really trying to stick to my approach. I'm trying to trust what I'm trying to do in that at bat. Really having a plan. And just try not to do too much, just taking what the game's giving me. I think that's important, try not to be like Shohei, trying to hit 50 homers every year. Like, it's just not going to happen, right? But I can get on base, right? I can let Freddie drive me in, or move a guy over, or a guy on second, try to drive him in. Like, that's what I'm trying to do.
And going back a little bit, I know I talked about the relationships that you have to build with the pitchers. Is it hard when you get somebody like Blake Snell, Glasnow, Roki, and this year, your first year this is your first year catching Shohei as well? Like, is it hard developing not just a personal relationship with them, but like that pitcher-catcher relationship with guys that you haven't really caught, but they're super talented. They've done it essentially. I'm not gonna say their way, but they've done it a certain way, and now they come over here. Like, is that hard?
It's definitely tough. Because I think we have a very good system with the Dodgers between myself, Fryer, Connor, Danny. We have very good system and very good, way we do things. I think it's made us really, really good the last 5-6 years or whatever. So yeah, you take a guy like Snell, right? He's very set in his ways and what he's trying to do and how he thinks of the game. And yeah, it's more, going with them, doing what they do well, keeping them comfortable, finding times to, critique, not be like, what the heck were you thinking here? But I thought we could have done this differently. Right. And then it's just an open dialogue, right? Like it takes time, it takes experiences together, takes failure together to really, learn and not mess up the same situation the next time.
And there's a guy specific that you didn't start off catching. He had his own catcher. And then you caught his 3,000th strikeout in Kershaw. And so how has it been catching him? And, because when you see him all the time, like we've seen him I've been with him like, this is my 5th year with Kershaw.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost sometimes like you forget that he's Clayton Kershaw and his stats and everything. And so how was it, really kind of getting to know him and now getting to catching his 3,000 strikeout, now you guys are really on the same page.
Yeah.
There's no shaking and really going on.
Yeah, so. It's definitely been a whirlwind a little bit. He's arguably one of the best pitchers ever. Like, you can argue it, right? And when I came in as a rookie, it was tough. It was tough trying to learn him. He's tough. I mean, he gets frustrated, right? We see it. That's just him competing. Like it's not like a personal attack or anything like that. And so yeah, it's just talking to him. It's trying to get to think what he's thinking, really understanding how his stuff plays and what he's seeing, and it's just experience. It's just being back there, and seeing what he's doing and really getting an understanding of how hitters react and different hitters see him and what really plays. And now, I mean, I feel like the last couple of years we've been pretty much on the same page, and for the most part, you never always can be on the same page. But yeah, I think we got a pretty good relationship now, and it's been fun. It's been really fun seeing him, clip these milestones, and yeah, all of that.
It's just crazy, man. I see him walk around and like especially during the games, when he'll give up a couple hits or something, he gets pissed up there. He gets really mad up there, and so. I remember going in and me and you, I remember we had a mound visit and me and you looked at each other like, okay, who's going to talk? Neither.
No, that was, I did not want to go out there. And you start walking in.
I started walking. You had to come.
I know how this is going to go.
And I gave you that look like, I'm not about to say nothing. This is on you.
I'm walking out. I'm like, Mookie, you better got something. I have nothing. You looked at me. Oh. All right.
There's the iPad. That's gone. Okay, so
man, that was bad.
That was
about how that meeting went.
Exactly. That's exactly how the meeting went. I'm sorry, guys. So we're gonna have to go on the fly for a minute.
All right.
When you're going up and talking to the pitchers, like, do you have certain things that you know you're gonna say, or do you have anything in like
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it's really not saying anything at all. It's just, hey, just give me a breather, man.
Okay.
Like, you're doing great. Just kind of fluff them up a little bit. Keep executing, whatever. Like, there's really nothing to it other than just kind of reset, slow the game down, and whatever. But yeah, there's times. I remember in the World Series last year, Kasperi started Game 5. Yeah. And Joe Kelly came up. He's like, hey, if he's nervous, go make a joke. I'm like,
oh, all right. In the middle of it.
So I'm like, well, like what? Like, what do you think? He's like, I don't know. Something about like, last year Miggy was always talking about Sapporo beers and stuff. So I went up today and I'm like, hey man, I don't remember exactly what I said, but hey man, like, I want to celebrate tonight. I want some Sapporo beers. Like, you're good. Like, relax.
Oh, okay.
He's like, oh, and you can see him like kind of like shift his mindset from freaking out to like, oh yeah, like, we're good. This is still like, it's still serious, obviously, but like, all right, the catcher's cracking a little bit of a joke or something. Like, I can relax.
Yeah.
And I think it helped him out a little bit, but that was Joe's idea, saying something like that.
Shout out to Joe Kelly.
Yeah, right.
We miss you, brother.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different things you'll tell you. You'll talk about, it's just kind of knowing the guy and what they need and where they're at.
All right, so now it's time to bring relief and get more baseball, get more with Geico. We're going to take a look at some moments that were caught on camera during the game. Oh, wow.
Oh, it caught it between his knees?
Wow.
I had not seen this
I
at all.
didn't see that either.
That's a catch.
Oh, wow. That's pretty dope.
That's cool. That's impressive. He got to that ball in the alley over there.
Dude, I didn't realize how much ground he covered until we played, and I really get to see how fast he is. But
he's a good player, man.
That looks like a football catch,
Yeah, they're looking to see if the ball hit the ground at all. Yep.
It's been really neat to see like the influx of Japanese, Korean, Asian baseball players coming into the game. Really, just that shows you how international.
Yeah,
the
game's growing.
All right, what's the next one?
Stop sign. Oh, that De Cruz.
Oh,
yeah, he's fast.
Really fast. Like I mean, obviously, that. I mean, we all know how fast he is. So tell me about like throwing him out on the bases. Like, is he one of the hardest?
It's hard to do. Yeah, if he gets a good jump, there's no chance.
Oh, so it's purely on if he gets a good jump, you got no chance. But if he gets like
if he gets a bad jump or he goes on a slide step or something, maybe
you got a chance.
You got a chance, but it's got to be perfect.
It's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's one of those guys.
There,
He's one of those guys like Ruiz. Oh, history. Oh my gosh, the jumps and everything he gets are ridiculous.
Yep.
All right, let's see one more. He took his work to the game.
Doing work on his laptop.
Okay, I mean, I
Wrigley?
understand. I guess you got to do what you got to do. If this is your way to not kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, right.
How did they let him in the stadium with it?
I guess I don't know.
Maybe that. Yeah, I guess
he can bring a laptop to a game.
I don't know. I've never seen it. I feel like you. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess it is what it is. So, I do want to talk a little bit about you signing as a Dodger, essentially going to be a Dodger for life.
Mm-hmm.
What played into that? Well, why did you do that?
Yeah, I think, I've loved being a Dodger. Love how the Dodgers are just about winning World Series, and that's me. That's kind of all I care about and want to do is win World Series when it comes to baseball. So the prices were right. It was a lot of negotiations for a few years and stuff, but super happy, super just grateful, for the opportunity to, wear this uniform for another 8-9 years or whatever now. So,
and I've asked pretty much everybody, what was the first thing you bought after you signed?
First thing I bought, I got a new car.
You got what kind of?
But I already ordered it before I signed it and all that.
So what was the first thing you bought after you signed?
Oh man, I don't know. Nothing like, probably a house, but
okay. So you didn't go. The house in Vegas?
No, we've had that.
Okay, so you had it before you signed. Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't really buy any. You didn't spend. You didn't buy Kara anything, or?
I mean, she goes out and buys her own purses now.
Yeah.
I'll get her a gift, birthday and Christmas and that. But yeah, she likes to go shop. Her and some of her other, friends encourage each other. It's kind of funny. It's it's a little bit of a joke now. So yeah, that's all right though.
I mean, it is. She deserves it. She has a hold it down.
She does. For she's taking care of the girls, and she's taking care of the house.
So how is it having 2 girls?
Oh, it's the best. I'm total girl dad.
Complete girl dad.
Yeah, I love it. They're the sweetest little things.
So you're the only masculine energy in the house.
Yeah, and I got 2 girl dogs. Like I'm totally outnumbered.
So like, what do? You just have to just.
Yeah, I don't know. I get dressed up as a princess sometimes.
You do makeup? You got to put on makeup?
I mean, Charlotte, no, I haven't done the makeup.
Not yet.
Haven't done the makeup. Haven't done the nails painted.
Okay.
I've painted some nails.
Okay.
but haven't had mine painted.
Are you gonna? Will you? You're.
I'm
allowed?
sure that'll come.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come.
So you're just gonna let her do makeup, paint your nails, all the tea parties,
yeah,
all that
probably,
type of
yeah.
stuff.
I've done tea
I mean, you really
parties.
don't have a choice because you're the only.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I play golf on the road or whatever. So
I'll make sure I invite you out to play golf, brother, because, woo, you need some masculine energy around you. You just get a guide dog. Get something, bro.
Yeah, I should. I don't know.
But 3 dogs.
3 dogs is too much.
That's a
Two's
lot.
a lot. Two's a lot.
Yeah, two's
enough.
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
We're not getting any more dogs.
Okay, so before we wrap, I got a couple things. Your name, Will Smith. There's 3 of you that that I know about. You, the actor, and then the pitcher, Will Smith. I know you. We pitched it. We played against him in 2020, and then for the last couple of years. Was it weird when you saw that his name was Will Smith the same way?
I mean, not really.
I feel like if somebody else's name was Marcus Betts or Mookie Betts, it would throw me completely off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there that has the same name as you. Not a baseball player, but
I haven't met him. So
but I mean, Will Smith is Smith. That's the most popular name. Yeah, and then Will's pretty popular.
Will's pretty popular too. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually went to high school with another Will Smith.
So baseball. you know another.
I know another one. Yeah.
Wow.
He was a twin. Yeah, we played high school baseball together. We had 2 Will Smiths on a high school baseball team.
So what was your nickname?
It was Smitty or
and
5.
What was his
My
nickname?
number's 5. I don't know, Will, or I think he was 30 maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe I was 30. I don't remember what number we were.
So you guys just
it was just.
Did you say him? Did you call him Will, or what did you call him?
Yeah, call him Will or call him Smitty sometimes.
Okay. That sounds really.
I don't know.
Weird.
It wasn't like it was a little bit weird, but after one day, it's kind of like whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so I do want to play this game. I'm gonna say a quote, and you tell me if it's about you, or the actor Will Smith. Okay. To be compared to Will Smith is probably one of the coolest things because that's who I came up admiring.
I mean, I hope it's about me, but probably the other one. That's a cool thing, right?
Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's you're right. That's Nick Cannon on the actor.
Okay, yeah.
Will Smith. Okay, so what about this? He was everywhere, but you also never noticed he was there.
That's probably me because I'm kind of quiet.
That's definitely you. Yeah. So Muntz said that.
Muntz said that?
Yeah, he was you were everywhere, but you also never really noticed. Just because I mean, he's right. You are everywhere, but you're really just quiet. You just go about your business and you'll talk. You say what up and X, Y, and Z. And you talk when talked to, but you're usually moving, man. You're usually kind of hitting, and then you got to go do this. You got to do that.
It's a long day.
It's a lot for you.
A lot of preparation.
Okay, so when Will walked in a room or Will would do anything, you knew he was in charge. Just his presence. Only a few people have that persona about him.
We'll go with the other one.
No, that's you. So this guy, his name is Zink Pinkham.
Oh, Zeke. Yeah.
Zeke. I said Zeke.
Played college baseball with him.
Yeah, Zeke. He said when you walked in a room, or if you really did anything, you knew you were in charge. Just your presence. Only a few people had that about him. And I think that kind of plays now, just because when you're back there and that presence of, I mean, you're leading the league and guys throwing guys out. I mean, you're handling the staff. I mean, you're doing, hitting third and fourth in the lineup. So you're really, your presence is felt. But you don't necessarily have to talk. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you just have to be there. And I think everyone feels comfortable. And then when you do talk, I think everybody loves it as well. So if you want to chatter a little more, well, that's very,
that's welcomed.
It's welcomed. Okay. Last one. Will Smith is just an all-around amazing talent and really funny.
Again, I'm gonna go with the other one.
Yeah, that's Will. That's the actor Will Smith. He is.
He's talented.
Yeah, he's very, very talented and very funny. Doc actually said that you're not really that funny.
I know. He called me out saying I don't make jokes or anything like that. It was a couple of years ago. Or what do you say? Vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla. There you go.
That's what he said.
That's your song. You had the Jack Harlow song. You
Yeah.
said, I'm vanilla. So
Yep.
you played right into it. So, but yes, Smitty, before we wrap, man, thanks for coming on the show. I know, like I said, I know you don't do things like this. So it's really good that you got to get on here and really kind of show your personality a little bit.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on here, man. It's been fun.
Of course. And thanks for watching On Base presented by Geico. Get more baseball, get more with Geico. Thanks, Smitty.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
I'll see you guys next time on Base.